You are looking live at
The Dub in 3, 2.
One for the money, two for the show, three to get ready, four to let go. Talking that talk is all that we don't. It's football time, we ready to roll. We bringing the coaches close to the fans, answering questions not from the stands. D1 players with offers in hand, from DF Dubs, the best in the land. Hey, six be coming to play like A, five be coming to play like A, 4 and 3 be coming like A. Private schools be making it A, cool in the gang, Bad and Brian doing our thing. Weird and Jeremy ready to swing. Oh, I forgot it's a card to come. We do it for the dub. We do it for the dub. We do it for the dub. At DF Dub. We do it for the dub. We do it for the dub. We do it for the dub. At DF Dub. We do it for the dub. We do it for the dub. We do it for the dub. At DF Dub. We do it for the dub. We do it for the dub. We do it for the dub. At DF Dub.
Welcome to the Dub, number one high school podcast starring Mathis, Jeremy McGinnis, Whitfield Roderick, and Brian Riser. Dallas Fort Worth.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. If it ain't live, it ain't me. It's your boy Bo. It's going down. Got my co-host. This is episode 1. We are in the building. Talk to him, Brian.
Yeah, the first episode, man. So we feel start out strong, man. So I'm excited. You got Coach Mathis, man. So this is the first time he ever been interviewed, right?
No.
You, baby. The you.
Oh, okay. My boy jumped
The
out.
you.
Yeah, I'm gonna got caught a cowboy for life, and he jumps out with.
He done switch shirts.
Yeah, he'll just switch.
Hey,
Just right there
hey.
with the size on him, man.
Hey, you gotta understand. I'm an Eagle dad, so I always
Okay, I
gonna
didn't
be.
know that. I was wondering what the Desoto connection was, because boy, you talk all
yeah.
that Carter stuff, bro.
I know, right?
Well, hey, y'all see, I'm still on that sock ducking field.
Oh,
It ain't changed.
I like that.
Hey, Brian Riser, Jeremy McGinnis, Whitfield Roderick, and me, Pat Boteezy, we are in the building. We are the Dub. We do it for the Dub, like the song says. The number one high school podcast in the Dub, probably because it's the only one right now. I'm pretty sure.
That's no
I'm
change.
pretty sure somebody's going to copy it. But hey, that's all right. We the first. We are the originals. So, man, hey.
We the ones.
Bro, hey, tell them about the page, Jeremy, because that page be just hopping every day, bro.
Hey, man, a lot of that's how we all kind of accumulated. If you go on Facebook, man, it's Texas Youth Sports in high school. Hey, DFW, that's where you go. We always, you can post your little league stuff, your high school stuff. Anything, man. Cause really, we brought it out, man. Cause we just want to give shine to DFW, all the kids, the community, whoever want to get themselves out there. That's what we want to do, and it just ungrew.
No doubt. Well, hey, we got two big time guests on tonight. We got Coach Clyde Mathis coming out of DeSoto, the U. A lot of questions for him. We got Coach Bam Harrison coming out of Kimball. Also had a DeSoto connection. So, man, without further ado, we're going to get this thing started. And we're going to bring on Coach Clyde Mathis like this.
There he is.
You keep doing that. I'll be across the street. You know what I'm saying? You know what's across the street? Yeah. Great song. Can't thank you enough, man.
Yes, sir. Hey, it's going down, man. We want to welcome one of the most famous coaches, and I mean, DF Dub makes a lot of famous coaches out here, but one of the most famous coaches, the most talked about coach in the Metroplex, Coach Clyde Mathis, and our cheerleaders got something for him. All right, welcome to the Dub. What's going on, Coach? Can you hear us, Coach? Oh no, we lost Coach. It's dark out there. It's dark out there, man. First episode, and some of that type of stuff happens, but it is what it is. Coach Mathis, jump back on here as soon as possible. We'll be looking for you.
Hey, how do we share?
Look, we got a lot of questions to ask too and stuff. And so if we can't get Coach Mathis on, who's gonna play the role of Coach Mathis? Because I'm gonna ask the questions anyway.
Hey, it don't make no difference.
All right, here we go. He's back.
Can you hear me now?
Oh, we got you. All right.
There you go, Coach.
In the building. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
So, man, hey, just welcome to the show. We want to, thank you for taking your time out because I know it's been a busy schedule. Before I even get to any of the questions I had, what has your 24 hours been like? Because I know we had breaking news that you hired an offensive coordinator within the last 24 hours.
Well, I have it's co-offensive coordinators. I have Sean and I have Coach Williams. Coach Williams has been with me on staff. He's our offensive line coach. Coach Bowen, and he's going to be our run game coordinator. And Coach Sweeney is going to be our passing game coordinator. And I have Sean, and Sean is going to be a co-OC with Coach Williams. So it's a good guy. Been doing it for a little bit, and it's going to work well with our kids.
Yeah, that'll work. Hey, that was a great hire. I saw that come across the board, and I'm like, whoa, I didn't even know the U's bringing in another coordinator, but good deal. So before I pass it out to my co-host, I got a few questions I have personally. Talk to me about so Carter. I feel like Carter High School, they was that swag team when I was playing ball and growing up. They brought the culture to DFW. Like before Carter, I'm pretty sure Sock might have had a run in there in the late 70s, but 80s was all about Carter High School. But after that, I don't think we had any culture around here. But when you came, you brought the culture, you brought the youth. So tell me how did that come about and how did you bring that culture? Because before you came, the swag wasn't in the Metroplex at that point.
It wasn't in Desoto.
No, it was not in DeSoto, and thank God I had some wonderful kids to come through here, and it really got started with Taylor Young. We have a lot of kids that have went to college from here. We had a lot of kids that are playing in the NFL that came from DeSoto, and we always compared ourselves to University of Miami, so they put out a lot of kids. So Taylor Young started talking about DeSoto U, and that's how it all got kicked off because we have so many kids we put in the college and in NFL, just like Miami Hurricanes when they put them in to NFL. So we started that culture right there, and it's been going a long ways, and it hasn't stopped since then. And we put a lot of kids out. I can tell you that a lot of kids have went here to college from DeSoto, and we're going to continue to produce it out. So it's a little swag that we have, man, but they love it and we love it. So we're going to go with it, and we're going to continue to go with it.
Absolutely. And before you got to the U, you played ball at I guess now it's called Texas State. It was called what, Southwest Texas at that point?
Yes.
And you were record setting back there. I think you had the record for most yards or something when you left.
Yeah, I'm in the Hall of Honor there. I was blessed to be in the Hall of Honor. It was it happened, I want to say, in probably 2011, 2012, but I was very blessed to play there and had some great teammates there. That the reason why I'm in the spot situation I am is because number one was God and my parents, but I had some great teammates at Southwest Texas State, and was very blessed. I had a very blessed college career, man, and there's not too many people that can say that.
There it is. So 2 more questions before I pass it out to my co-host. There was a recent rule that came out where they were trying to stop freshmen. They were voting to stop freshmen from playing varsity sports, which I thought was absolutely ridiculous. And it didn't pass. And it kind of put you in mind because you are one of those coaches that don't mind playing freshmen. I mean, it's almost like you're looking for that next freshman superstar. I remember Des White, who played a little bit. KD Nixon definitely played a lot as a freshman, to name a few. So, one, I'm pretty sure you're glad that rule didn't pass, and just talk about what are you looking for when kids hit your campus their freshman year.
Well, for us, man, we're looking for kids with a high character. We're looking for kids that have great grades, that can take care of their grades. But it's a big adjustment coming from the 8th grade to freshman and try to play on varsity for that matter. I think I can count a total of 6 kids that have ever done that for me here at DeSoto, and it's not a lot. It's not a lot at all. And you got to be pretty special to play as a freshman here at DeSoto because we have a lot of kids that can flat out get it. And a lot of times it comes about depth more than anything. So as a freshman, you don't have that opportunity too much to play at DeSoto when you're a freshman. But we've had at least 6, I think I want to say 5 or 6 to do it so far under my watch. But you got to be pretty special to do that. No, and I am. I'm glad that didn't have that. They didn't have that rule this year, so it benefits us and everybody else across the country.
Absolutely. So my last question is, well, before we get there, I also like to commend you because you've always accommodated, people in the public. I've seen interviews you've done with CCE and, your relationships with other people. You worked with me in the past on some stuff like that, always accommodating. And that's a good thing, especially when the coach is popular as you are, people could be standoffish in that lane, but you're never standoffish in that lane. So we appreciate you accommodating. But hey, how is it to coach your boys? That's my biggest question.
Right.
Your babies. Wait a minute. And let me say this. I've been going to DeSoto games for the longest. I've had 2 sons that played at DeSoto. So I've gone through the program, but I always remember them on the sideline, and it's just shocking to me. I remember them being ball boys at the games, like in 2012, 13, somewhere up there, just tossing the ball around. And now these jokers are about to graduate.
Well, you know what? It went by fast. It really did, and it's something that won't hit me until I get on the field with those two. It hit me hard with Champ, my oldest. It really did. It hit me really hard with him. But I have enjoyed it, really coaching them. It's been very hard on them. Being a coach's son is not very easy. And we've had our ups and downs, but we've had more ups than anything, especially the last 2 years, because they were able to show everybody that they're playing, and they're not just playing because they're the coach's sons. And, that's what I like about my kids. They're very mentally tough, love them to death. Just very proud of them right now. Very proud of their grades. Don't have to worry about their grades. And they're both going to be graduating early here from DeSoto. So very proud of both of them right now, man. And they don't do nothing but make A's and B's. And that's what I like about it. And hardly some. And if I'm talking about B's, I'm talking about maybe 1. So those guys have really done their job. They're very special to me in my heart. Of course, they're my sons. But they've proved to everybody that they can play, and they're not just playing because of Coach Mathis. But I've really enjoyed the moment. But it's going to hit me hard this year. It has not hit me yet. But it's going to really hit me hard this year when I'm coaching my 2 kids, especially my twins, in their last games, and we should say that their season ending this year.
All right, we'll make sure we got some tissue on the sideline for you. We don't want to see stuff like that. All right, let's go to B. Rise. What you got, sir?
How you doing, Coach?
How you doing?
How you doing? I'm doing good. My question to you is, of course, without naming yourself, who are 2 of your favorite coaches in the area who you think are doing a good job with their program?
Oh, wow. Man, there's a lot of good coaches out there. I think it's hard to pick 2. It really is. But, of course, Duncanville has really built a really good powerhouse. When I left in 2014, they have really built a real powerhouse. We were there where they used to be. We had to rebuild everything here right now. But, Samp is always doing a great job. I hope he gets one, but not on my convenience. But I really hope he gets one sooner or later. He deserves it. He really does. He deserves it.
I agree.
And, like I said before, it's gosh almighty. It's hard. It's hard to pick another one. I think my boy Summit has done a great job over there. I'm going blank right now, but he has done a terrific job over there and has really changed that program around over there. And I'm very proud of him for things that he's done. But like I said, there's a lot of great coaches that are out there. I just didn't want to single out anybody, but I know those 2 come to mind.
Okay, thank you.
That's all you got?
Yeah, it's all right now. I'll get back to it.
Well, look at him. J Mac, what you got? What you got, J Mac? I thought he was gonna throw the book at Mathis.
Man.
I got nothing.
Hey, it ain't like he ain't never seen testimony and grilling. So, we ain't gonna talk about it.
All right, okay. I'm gonna ask last question. All right, Coach. All right.
Yes.
All right, my last question, Coach. All right. Last year, y'all beat Westfield. Westfield beat North Shore. Just I'm not saying who will win or not. But if y'all play North Shore, do you think the game would be a little? How do you think they, far as strategy wise, what would you do different for offensive wise than Duncanville?
Well, I thought it would be a great matchup for us. I really did. I was really looking forward to playing them because I really felt that that's a great matchup for us. The things that we can do offensively, we can spread the ball out and we can sling the ball out a little bit more, and we can still run the ball. And I just thought that our offense was well balanced, and we weren't a one-dimensional team that could go against those guys right there. So we had looked at film against them, and I just think that when you're playing against the Westfield, you better have everybody healthy, number one, but you better have a great game plan for them because they got some guys that can match up with you step by step. And then I just felt very good about our chances against those guys, especially with our offense.
That's it.
And that's what you're talking about, offense. So that's what
Yeah.
I said. Our defense, I thought our defense is going. I mean, I really felt good about our defense, but I mean, since you brought up the offense, I think that we could have put some points up against them. I really did.
Okay,
I
good.
agree, Coach. I agree. I actually agree with that, and I said that too. I felt that your offense, because it's more open, it would have gave a lot more possibilities for scoring.
Yeah,
and stuff. That's that button right there. That's that extra gear right there.
Well, see, Coach, what I like about Coach Mathis is, he got a lot of I don't give a damn in him when it comes to that offense. You know what I'm saying? Coach want to start. Coach, I've been here for a minute.
We do take some chances. We've just been very successful with our offense. I've had some really great players to play underneath me, and I've had some great coaches to coach underneath me. And I expect no drop off this year when it comes to our offense. I know we got a new face coming in, but at the same time, our offense is still going to be the same. It's not going to change. And Coach Williams and Coach Sweeney has done a hell of a job this year when it comes to our offense this spring. So I don't put nothing past it, but I just know that I have some great guys, and it will not take a drop off. I can tell you that.
Okay, I agree. I don't think DeSoto, since Coach Mathis stepped foot in DeSoto, offense has never been a problem.
No, it never has.
Yeah,
I agree.
Yeah, I mean, hey, I always said DeSoto was the first team I ever seen can score over 50 points and still lose by 20. You remember that Round Rock game?
You know what? Why is it being kept? That Round Rock game, guys, nobody knows this. I mean, I say it now. They had our huddle. They watched our practices. They had our huddle. I had a parent that got mad at me and gave him my huddle. And so they watched practice that whole week on it. So they knew everything. They knew our first 10 plays. That's no lie. Dang. That's why I changed everything around, but that's why they knew every single thing. That's a true story. That's a fact. That is a fact. But yeah,
hey, breaking news.
They had our plays. They really did.
Oh wow.
I didn't know that.
And I knew it from the first snap of the game. I knew it because they gave me a different coverage right away. I knew it. I knew something was up right away. I mean, I really did. But yeah, they had our stuff. They knew our first 10, 12 plays. They knew our game plan. They were looking at us doing practice from our video, and they did it. They did it.
Oh wow,
they did. That explains a lot because that game had me mystified.
Me too.
That game had me crazy. I was like, hey, look, man, you could not be scoring 50-something points and still lose by. Something wrong. Something just ain't right.
Yeah, they did.
Something just ain't right.
They had the game plan.
Hey, J Mac, that's every college football game right now, though. Every college football game like
that. Yeah. But I think that ain't because somebody don't share the huddle. That's just because football today. And that's one thing I could ask you, Coach. Do you think today's football is more first 1 to 50?
No, I really think defenses have caught on. I mean, I think defenses have really adjusted to the tempo offense at times. I mean, you take teams that play against Bama sometimes. I mean, that's one thing that they've struggled with, but I think they've gotten a lot better understanding of it and do a great job with Nick Saban now with the no huddle offense. So I mean, I think defenses have caught up on some things when it comes to the no huddle offense and the tempo. And especially they're playing 3 high with safeties now, the Iowa State defense. I mean, it's changing. I can tell you that it's definitely changing. But the good thing about it is offensive guys are going to adapt. Offensive coaches are going to adapt. So, but I do think the defense is catching up. I do. I really do believe that.
Okay. Okay. Pat. Okay. Now this goes to my 3 questions. Okay. Coach.
For real? I thought you was on your fifth question.
Oh no. I was just filibustering. I was just
Hey, do you
filibustering.
think?
This is my 3 right here though. But I gotta get this out the way, Coach, because I love the internet. We all in these internet streets right now. You know what I'm saying? So the streets always chirping. The streets always talking. So I'm just wondering, man, what really happened on that spring, and what really happened with Coack, and why they're accusing Desoto of not, playing around, even though y'all all have the same rules.
Yeah, exactly. We all, our district. I mean, we did it. We don't allow other students from other districts to come on our home side because that's how stuff gets started. We don't need any fights.
Right.
Okay. And
Right.
that don't need to happen. That's our policy. That's our district policy during the season. That's our district policy when we have events the way we had that spring game. That's our policy. And we're trying to prevent fights. So that's why we don't allow students. Yeah, that's not the only exactly. Other spring games were the same way, not just ours. And so we don't allow that. And so that right there, I don't understand why was it a big deal about it. That's our school policy. Point blank.
Do you think little part of that? Do you think a little of that was just kind of hype, maybe a little hype?
I don't know what it was. I was disappointed. I was very disappointed in the whole situation. I was very disappointed that it was taken to the internet and made such a big deal about it, and people didn't know the facts about it. And again, I received a phone call from the other district AD saying, "Coach, I understand what you guys did, and I don't understand the problem, but we're gonna do the same thing." And they did the same thing. Other school districts did the same thing as we did. And so I just don't understand why it was a big deal about that. That's our district policy. That's what we do to try to prevent fights. You only got to have a student ID from our district. And if you don't have the student ID and you're from our district, you don't get in either.
Right.
You don't get in either. So I was just, it was blown out of proportion, but those are the facts right there.
Hey, I'm glad. Thanks for clearing that up, Coach.
So piggyback real quick on your, real quick, let me say something real quick. So piggyback on your question, Jeremy, Coach, what disgusted me a lot last year when I don't know if it was last year or year before, y'all lost to Duncanville in that 4th round, and y'all players were just sitting there eating their food, and those Duncanville players walked up and turned at them. See, stuff like that could have escalated a lot more than what it didn't do, and I thank God it didn't. But see, stuff like that's uncalled for.
Now,
it really was, and me and Coach Samp talked about it, and I know that he handled his players that did that. But it stuff like that, it could break off a fight real easy. It really could. I'm just glad that our kids were very disciplined and they didn't do anything. And I know that Samp took care of his kids as well. And, me and him communicate a lot on things. We try to prevent things like that from happening. But that was real disappointing. And, we haven't forgotten that at all. We won't ever forget that. But I'm just glad that nothing did happen. But you're exactly right. It could have really popped off. It could have been really ugly.
And you're right. And credit to Coach Samp because I saw the video. Yeah. I saw the video of him talking to his team about that. So, he did. So shout out to Coach Sample for talking to you and y'all handling that, showing the way grown men handle business. I like that.
Yeah. I love it. I love it. That's the example right there.
We do talk. We do try to prevent things a lot, but we also, a lot of people think we hate each other just because we had a rival from Skyline and everything. But me and him, we do get along, but just when we play each other, we're not friends. This is the bottom line. We try to go at it at one another. That's with everybody else. But
and it's like that.
Right. But that's part of it. That's part of it.
Yes, sir.
Hey, that's part. And speaking of that, I'm glad you said that. He got a protege that's biting on your heels, man. He got a protege over there at Sock that's he nipping on you. And my question is in the back of your mind? Now, ain't nobody listening, Coach. It's just us. Ain't nobody listening. Nobody hear us. Ain't nobody listening. But in the back of your mind, are you saying after week 3, it won't be no question who big brother and little brother is?
You know what? I don't even look at it that way. I really don't. I don't even look at it that way at all. I look at it as another game that we have to play and we have to take care of. I mean, that's honestly, that's the way I look at it. There's no big brother up here and little brother here because they label me as the outcast anyway because I'm not from the DFW. I'm from Central Texas, and they label me that way anyway. So, I mean, I roll with the punches. I go with the punches. But I'm just a coach right now, man, that's trying to win a ball game. and I want our kids to win a ball game. I want it for our kids more than anything, and it's not about me. It's about our kids winning the game and being 3-0. So, I know I don't look at it as no big brother, little brother thing. I just look at it as it's a game that we got to go out there and win. We got to go take care of business.
So it won't be no extra celebration, no extra cold Bud Light, no celebratory. That's what you're trying to tell me. That's what you're telling me, right? That's what you're telling me. That's what you're telling me.
I'm gonna tell you this. It's gonna be a game that we're gonna show up. We're gonna play the game. We're gonna have to take care of our business. They're a very good ball club. He's a very good coach. It's just gonna be a good game. I expect the game to be sold out. I really do. I expect that game to be sold out. Yeah.
As a matter of fact, Coach Mathis, we media now, so we're gonna have our Dub shirts on. So we need them media passes for that game.
We need them passes, Coach. We need them passes.
I already told them. I'm asking every coach on here. We need media passes.
Okay, last one. You can have it, Rod. Coach, I'm just wondering. I hear a lot of talk with this team you got coming up. You know, the internet streets is blowing up. Everybody talking about your 3 running backs. Everybody talking about your DBs. You got, your deep. Your team is deep. You got, D1 players everywhere. So I'm just wondering, man. In your opinion, is this the best team you had since you came back, or what?
No. You say since I came back? Since I came back.
I know it ain't the best you had because I haven't been here.
Man,
yeah.
You know what? That defensive line we had with Shamar and Big Murph, man.
That was a good team.
That right there, man. I ain't lying. That we felt that we really had a great squad right there. That was a really good ball club right there. And overall, it was a really good ball club, man. I mean, we had the pieces at Samaria quarterback. We had some receivers, had some running backs. But this team right here, what we have right now, they grew up. The difference is they grew up together. Like my twins pretty much know everybody because they grew up with them. I know them. They've been over the house to eat. I mean, we've had them there. I mean, we know these kids. Yeah. And I think this is going to be a closer team that I've ever had when it comes to bonding as a family, close-knit team, I should say, more than anything. But I can tell you this. We've had some key opponents that have really going to push this team maybe over the top when it comes to the best teams I've had since I've been back. All right.
Right.
This team right here, I'm just telling you, this team right here, if they stay healthy and we can control things on the offensive line, because I think that's where it's going to start at from us. This year is going to be the offensive line. If we can control everything on the offensive line and the defensive line, this could be that team that what you just said could be the best team I've had since I've been back.
Yeah, because Dontre and Dez team was the best team. That was in my opinion. I was there at the Allen game where I broke a chair in the stands in Mesquite. Yeah. Because of the bad refereeing.
So, what did you do? What did you do that God wanted to hit that third ball just in the middle of the air and just sit it straight down?
You know what? We work a drill. We call a drill called Peter. And probably everybody in the country works it. You know, that kid did exactly what we taught him to do. Head towards the sideline. And that's what he did. And that 35-mile-per-hour wind caught it and made it hit him. And I still feel bad for that kid to this day because he almost did something after that game that his parents had to call him. I mean, it was bad. But, it's just one of those things, man, where it happened. I hate it happened. But, everybody kept saying that we couldn't coach, couldn't do this. I think everybody knows about Kyler Murray now. So I think that put that to rest right there. So,
right.
He's a dude, man. He's a dude.
But I'm gonna say this.
He broke my heart for 3 years.
He broke my heart for more years than that.
Hey, between Skyline and DeSoto, I was wrong. I was like, you know what? If Mathis can't do it, Samples need to do it. If Samples can't do it, Mathis need to do it. And man, I'm telling you, dog. Look at that dude.
Yeah, he's a bad boy, man. Murray is a bad boy.
Go ahead,
hey, Coach. I think my most heartbreaking one, man, was Cowboy Stadium when y'all really, really had them, man. And they kicked that field goal, that long field goal at that. And that broke my heart, man. Because I was
and we played that game without our starting safety. Our safety, our corner collided at the end of that game right there. And that was his only catch. The receiver that went to Notre Dame, that was his only catch. He didn't have another catch that whole game. They were their number one receiver. And he caught that one catch. And They ran their offense and ran their field goal team on the field, and they beat us. And
Dude,
that was a heartbreaker too. So
that was heartbreaking.
I've had some state championships out. So I mean, I know how it feels to lose. Even though it seemed like we was one play away because nobody was better than us in Allen those years. I mean, there was nobody else better. It was just us.
I agree.
One of us was
I
going to
agree.
win it. It was nobody else
You're
better.
right.
Nobody
Yeah,
else
and like
Well,
you said, you actually had to play Crochet, I believe, in the defensive backfield that game. Was it Crochet?
No, I played our backup in the game right there.
Okay, I thought. Okay, I was trying to remember. I thought that was the game that you played one of your receivers as a DB.
South Lake. I played two of our receivers on defense.
You played John Trey and he got hurt.
That's exactly. John Trey played safety and came back after David Young taped him up and came back off of he had a high ankle sprain and came back in the game and just took the game over still. But I had two receivers that played DB that game right there, and they did a great job, man. That was one for the story. It's probably one of the top 5, top 6 ball games in the state of Texas. Ever.
Coach, I was mad at you, Coach. I ain't gonna lie.
You was mad
when Duntrey came down and hurt his ankle, man, I was like, oh man. Even if I was like that, but I was hot. I ain't gonna lie, Coach. I was mad, man. I was like, because I knew, man. I mean, Duntrey is probably one of the best running backs I've seen.
He's that good.
I've ever seen.
See, Duntrey could have played safety, corner, receiver, DB. I mean, running back. Dontre Wilson could have did anything he wanted to do, and Dontre Wilson came back in that game, and I'm glad he came back because we were able to win the ball game with him. But I'm telling you right now, man, that defense, I never forget that defensive stand they made with T.Y. in the crew, that game right there, man. It was unbelievable.
Yeah, Taylor Young. Taylor Young, 1 yard line.
Those guys, that whole defense, man, that gosh almighty, they made a heck of a stop 3 plays in a row, man. That defense was solid.
That was a beautiful game. I was there and lost my mind in that game too. 42-41, I believe, was the final score.
Yeah, that defense was solid, man. It might
have been more than that because they would have been going.
You had Big Shaq making a heck of a play on that play too, man. It's just our defense was just special. And they believed in us, man. So I mean, it's one of those things that you always remember. But I'm still chasing that title. Hopefully, I get it soon.
Oh, no doubt,
no doubt.
Coach, I'm gonna start off by saying, first of all, the U.
I love it. I was about to say I love it, man.
That's first of all.
I need your address so I can see you another shirt too as well. I'm gonna hook you up.
That's a Carter Cowboy.
Get Bo T your address, man. I'm gonna hook you up. I got you. I'll take care of you.
Thank you, Coach. My second thing about you, man, is this. I didn't know that much about you back when you first got to DeSoto, but I ended up attending one of y'all games. It was against Skyline in the playoffs, and I instantly fell in love with you as a coach because of your swagger. Like, I know it was a hard hit or something on the sideline, and you just like start rattling the crowd up. You start jumping up and down, and I was just like, man, DeSoto got a real one. And it's like ever since then, I've been a Clyde Mathis fan, like completely.
Well, I appreciate it, man. I'm very passionate. A lot of people think that I'm cocky. It's not nothing being cocky. It's not nothing being arrogant. I'm a very passionate coach, and I want our kids to be successful. I want our kids to succeed. I want our kids to win a state championship because I believe they deserve it. I mean, they work their tails off like everybody else, and it's not easy. But the things that we go through is it's not easy. It's not easy at all. There's a lot of teams that go through the same thing, but it makes me even want it more for our kids because I know what we go through here, and I know how hard they work. And I'm hoping they're able to reach their dreams and finally get a state title and bring it here underneath me. And I just feel that they can do that. But I appreciate that, man. But I'm very passionate. I appreciate that.
So, Coach, okay, so if it comes down to it again, if y'all end up being Division I, and it's just like Hollywood, that's how Hollywood the script would be Act 1, Act 2, Act 3. With this being Act 3, what would it finally take to get past those Panthers?
You got to beat them at their own game. They're very physical. They do a great job in the physicality game. And when you have some guys that are weighing about over 300 pounds and over 6'4" across the board, and it's something different. And our kids have had to adjust to that. But the physicality of the game is something that we've worked on in our off season. Our physicality of the game is something that we're continuing to work on right now. And so, you got to be able to have 3 phases of that game. You got to win all 3 phases. But one of the biggest phases to me that I don't include with the offense, defense, and as well as the kicking game is physicality. And that's where I think right now, when you have those guys like that, you have to be as physical as with those guys, just like the Houston team that played them.
North Shore.
Galena.
And that's
Galena
what I
North.
said.
Yeah.
North Shore.
That's
Gotta
what
be
I
physical.
that's
North
what I
Shore.
say about Duncanville. When they meet North Shore, they basically looking in the mirror.
Yeah, they are. They are.
They
They
looking
really
in the
are.
mirror every
They
time. Every time. And speaking of
Oh,
that, Coach, do you
okay.
think that's an unfair stereotype that's on Coach Mathis, the Desoto Eagles, is that they are a finesse team?
You know what? They say what they want to say. I know how physical our kids are. I really do. I know how physical our kids are. And our kids, the physicality game that we are. I mean, sometimes you win them and sometimes you lose them. And that don't mean that we're not going to stop being physical. That's not going to stop us from trying to win a state championship. We're not a finesse team. I've heard that bull crap, and we're not a finesse team at all. I promise
Hey,
you
that's
that.
why I asked.
Yeah, that pisses me off when I do hear that. I'm not lying. That pisses me off because I know how hard our kids work, and I know how physical our kids are. And so we're going to continue to be that way. You know, we're going to have people saying us and labeling us that, but we know the difference. We know. And as long as we know, we're good.
Okay.
Hey, coach. Hey,
Yeah.
coach. Besides football, how does it feel knowing that you're responsible for helping these kids get to the next level? Like you guys average over probably 15 Division Ones every year. How does it feel knowing that you're able to help transition these kids into life changing moments?
No, we're ranked 3rd in the nation, I want to say, in putting out Division Ones. When I got back here, I looked at it. We have a form that they got from ESPN. It actually came on ESPN, and I think we were ranked number 2 or number 3 in putting out the most kids in Division One. And you know what? It's all about our kids. It's not just about football. And I tell our kids about that all the time. If it's just about football, I have failed them in life. It's about growing up. It's about being young men and grooming young black men right now, especially in today's society. It's about those kids are going to college and being successful and having a chance to live their dream, but also having a chance to get their degree. And so I'm most proud of our kids, and I'm proud of all the coaches that have coached underneath me and all the kids that have went through DeSoto and had a chance to go to college and from there to the NFL. But I always want them to go get that degree, no matter what. I mean, you got to get that degree. You got to get that fall back on that degree. But, you know, DeSoto is very, very high when it comes to putting guys into college and in the NFL. And I'm just glad that I'm a part of it.
Salute to you, Coach, for that one.
And another question for you. How do you feel about having one of y'all nemesis, y'all arch rivals of the playoff years, Skyline, added to your district now?
You know what? I think it's great. I think it's great for high school football. I think it's great for the area to have Skyline back in. And we used to have some great days with Skyline when Coach Sample was there. And, you know, it's just one of those things where you still hear Skyline, you still remember the tradition of DeSoto and Skyline when they're playing the playoffs and everything. So, you know, it's a little bit different now, but I still think it's just hearing those two teams playing, you still get the blood pumping and you still want to go out there and compete hard and play and beat them. And I think that's the way it is right now. But, you know, I'm glad they're in our district. We have the hardest district in the state of Texas. So it's going to be nice to see what happens.
I
agree.
It's going to be interesting. It's going to be very
The
interesting.
District of Doom, Part 2.
It definitely is. It definitely is. I can tell you that right there. It's not easy. It's not easy at all.
Hey, before you go, Coach, I know we got to get Coach Bam on. How you feel about Waxahachie, man? Because I just think Waxahachie.
I was just going to ask that.
I just think what you think about Waxahachie?
I'm looking forward to the game. I'm looking forward to playing Waxahachie. I'm looking forward to playing them. Trust me. I'm looking forward to playing Waxahachie. I am.
Damn, Coach. Hey, when you said that, I thought I was a 12-year-old and Pop just told me to
So it's some things that they
oh boy,
it's personal. It's personal.
Oh man.
It's very personal.
Oh,
you know, it's when you try to do things to my son in my place. It becomes personal. And I know they shouldn't have did some things that they shouldn't have, but it should have cut off right there. You don't take it deeper than what you're doing, and they did it. And it's very personal right now, especially when it comes to my son and my football players. And I know exactly what happened, but what they did to them, it was not good, and I don't agree with it whatsoever. But it's very personal.
That's dad speaking right
Hey,
there.
coach,
That ain't coach. That's dad.
You're
I
right.
have one
sound
It's
last question
both.
for you,
You're right,
coach.
but you're exactly right. You are exactly
I
right.
have one last question
It
for you,
sounds like
coach.
70 points personal, so we'll be watching
Right,
that.
right.
Hey, coach, I got one last question for you, if you don't
Uh,
mind me. Um, a lot of people compare y'all to like a Clemson or someone. Like y'all put up numbers of offense. Like y'all can average about 60 a game, but y'all give up about 30 in the process. What is it gonna take to correct that to keep a team from fighting back in a game?
well, you know what? I think we're giving up more points to Duncanville than any other team right now. And I went back and I did my homework on the past 3 years here, and we looked at our opponents that we've played, and it's when we played Duncanville, and that has to stop. Um, other schools, I mean, this last year we did give up some points though. We did give up some points this last year, which we would hope to fix that and fix the mistakes that we had last year. But our defense on the Tony Holmes, where they played well. I know, getting to get to know a new defense coordinator. Tony did a great job, man, and came in and helped us out tremendously. And he's at Red Oak right now, and I can't thank Tony enough. But we got better at that category. Last year we gave up some points, and we got to correct that right there. And I know we will. So, but you're right. Defensively, you're gonna win state championship with defense. You got to have a defense, and that's
Right.
something that I know that we've gotten better at, and this spring with our guys, and we're gonna continue to get better at it right now. I have me a new defensive coordinator as well. His name is Kyle Coates, and him and Coach Babineau are going to be co-defensive coordinators this year. Coach Babineau was my co-defense coordinator last year, so I expect those two guys right there to get it done, along with Coach Chadwick. He's an up-and-coming rising coach right now that's going to be on the defense side of the ball as well, and the rest of those guys on that. I've got Franklin as my corners coach, but those two guys, they got to get it done for us this year.
Yes, sir.
Coach,
Yes,
you
sir.
giving out so
Yeah.
many co-positions. I need to be a co-running back coach.
Well, you know what? It's
Yeah.
nowadays, man. Is guys they want to be up and coming. They want to be known, and they deservedly rightful so. And when you have a program like we do here, as well as other programs, those guys want to have a chance to be a head coach one day, and they want
That's
to know
smart,
if those
though. That's
guys are
smart.
being.
Actually, giving
They
opportunities.
want to know if they've been a coordinator. They want to know if they're calling the defense or they're calling the offense, or what are their role, their assistant head coach. They want to know all these things. So I try to put my guys in a situation where they can be successful. I don't want my guys just to be on this staff as coaches. I want those guys to go be head coaches or coordinators somewhere else, but not just be with me as a coach. If you want to be just with me as a coach, you don't need to come to DeSoto. So that's why I want our guys, and that's why they deserve those titles right there, so they can move up, and because they deserve it.
I'm kind of older, so I just want to come as a coach. But
well, coach, my last thing for you is this. In my mind, I'm biased because I got the shirt on. I believe this is the year y'all flood the gates. I'm just saying it. This is the year.
Well,
y'all flood the gates.
I can tell you this. We have a really good ball club coming back this year. If our kids stay healthy, I'm excited to watch them play. We just have to stay healthy this year. We really do. And I mean that's just one of those things here that if we can do that, I love our chances. And I think that we can be very successful here. They're working hard right now. They're fired up. We're going to be heading to College Station this weekend and playing the state SQT. Hopefully we do well there now, but the most important thing for us is taking one step at a time, and that season is coming right around the corner. So August is coming. I can tell you that.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Yes,
So
sir.
I'm
But I
gonna go
appreciate
ahead. I just want to say one thing before we bring Bam on. I know he used to work with you back in the days and stuff. You got anything, any stories about Bam before we bring him on?
One thing right now, he needs to stop stealing my coaches. He's trying to stick all my goddamn coaches over there to cancel right now, man. Come on, man. Man, come on. There's got to be some other coaches out there just go find right now, man.
Hey, it's that culture. It's that culture we talked about.
Man, it is. I know,
Hey.
man. It's a. Nah,
Hey, Coach Back,
he
representing the other D. He got
yeah, exactly.
He trying to put the Dallas beat on his back.
No, we got some great coaches, man. I hired Bam, and I was glad in the situation that he's in right now. He deserves it. He's been trying to get a head job for a while now and trying to be beating down the doors, and he's finally beat down the door to become a head coach. And I'm very proud of him. I really am, and I hope he has great success over there. But man, but leave my coaches alone, man. God dog.
Hey, when we see Carter versus DeSoto versus Kimball next year, is that gonna be?
Oh no,
no, he ain't gonna do that now. He ain't that crazy now. He ain't gonna
Yeah,
do that.
No.
He ain't that now. He ain't gonna go there. He ain't
All right.
not yet. Nah.
Hey, baby,
Hey, my boy Keeper Rush said 3 years. 3 years. So we'll see.
Let me ask Coach one more.
No
Just
doubt.
one more. Hey, Coach.
Yeah.
What we gonna take to get the Carter DeSoto scrimmage back?
Never.
Oh wow, man,
Never.
Bruh. Who they gonna scrimmage? The junior high?
Yeah.
Hey, back in our Carter days, we scrimmage DeSoto faithfully. So
Team?
I just want to know what it takes to get that back.
I can tell you that when you get a Coach James or a Coach Chambers over there, let me know, because those guys.
Oh,
Hey, talk that talk. Hey, Clark.
If you get Coach Chambers and Coach James back, they're gonna bring all those ex-players. So I ain't gonna want to play them, man. Those dudes back in the day, real.
That's a history lesson right there for
I'm
you.
trying to go back to Carter. Trust me. I'm gonna let Carter stay where they at. I don't need nobody like that right now. Trust me. We already playing the number 3 team in the nation right now, so I don't need nobody else right now. Trust me.
Hey, I will be there, Coach. I was gonna ask you, but we ran out of time. What made you schedule those 2 national teams?
You know what? I love playing a hard preseason. I really do. I love playing a hard preseason. It battle tests us before we get into district play, and it gives me a chance to see where our kids are at. But these 2 teams that we're about to play right now, they're solid. It's going to be very interesting to see how this pans out right now. But we're excited. But we don't back down to no challenges. I mean, we're excited about this, and we take on all comers. And those 2 teams are one of the players, so we played them, and we're gonna see how it goes. But it's gonna be a good one. I'll tell you that. It's gonna be a packed house too as well.
Yes,
Hey,
sir.
Rod, for that question you just asked about Carter. The question you just asked. Yeah, I had a meme for you, but it won't drop. But anyway,
good.
We're look, I'm gonna get you though, because Mathis, coming out.
Let me do it for that question about Carter.
Definitely love to talk with you and one of your players during the season and stuff. So we will be following you. Much success. We're gonna have the rankings out, so tell everybody to stay tuned. We're gonna put the rankings out at the end of the show. We appreciate you.
All right,
you know what, guys? This has been one of the better shows I've ever been a part of, especially podcast wise, guys. This was excellent. It was fun.
We appreciate that, Coach. We appreciate that.
I'm being honest. I'm not just blowing smoke up your ass right now. I'm being very honest right now, man. This was fun. I wish we can do it again. And I hope other coaches experience the same thing that what I just experienced. But I've had a great time on here, guys. And I really appreciate you guys having me on the show, man. This is really good. I'm not lying.
You the first
really
guest,
appreciate
Coach.
you.
Coach, you the first guest.
You the first guest.
You number 1.
Appreciate that. Appreciate that, man. Hey, maybe that's the thing to come this year, man. So I appreciate that.
All right.
We're gonna catch up with you later on the year. I need them sideline passes for the sock game. We're gonna interview some of y'all players after the game and put them on the show.
I want sideline passes for Waxahachie.
Hey, I ain't missing that game. I'm not missing that one. Let me go change. Come on.
There you go. The man right there.
I appreciate it, guys. And also tell Bam leave my goddamn coaches alone, man. Hey, I appreciate you guys. I'm out. Appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Salute.
All right. Later.
All right,
Salute.
Coach.
All right. So, hey, I appreciate Bam. I get to see him in the background, patiently waiting. Great interview, but it don't stop like that.
It don't stop,
man.
It don't stop. And I got to bring my man Bam in. We had great conversations before, but I got to bring him in like this. I hope he remembers this.
There we go. Oh, they pulled it off.
That's when they upset in Coronado, wasn't it?
Hey, Kimber, this is what you getting, baby. Animation. Hey.
Hey. Hey, Bam, you got to do that after y'all play Carter.
Yeah, hey man, hey, that needs to be the first thing we talk about right there. Is that Wilson?
Wilson.
Talk about it.
Yeah.
What's going on, Coach?
Well, the Wilson started in 2011, and when I was at DeSoto East. Now everybody is blowing the Wilson.
For real.
You know what I'm saying? Yes, I started that in 2011. Now everybody's. I heard somebody doing it last night.
Hey, Coach Bam, the funny thing about that is I saw a white coach from Duncanville blowing the whistle. I'm like,
hey man, that coach wasn't white. That's a Spanish
that coach wasn't white from Duncanville. It was Duncanville. It was a Duncanville coach.
When?
That was probably about 2017 or something.
Yeah, he was white.
Yeah, he was white. Yeah. He got that blowing the whistle like Bam. I'm like, look at this joker right here.
Yeah, man. Everybody trying to do it now. But it's all good.
Hey, as they say, imitation is the greatest form of flattery.
I am the originator, not the duplicator.
Already.
Hey, Coach Harrison.
Yo.
I love you. I respect you, but Cowboys.
Hey, tell him, what that shirt just green?
Hey, man. Hey, you know, Carter had put out a bunch of guys. I played with them in Little League, but it's all about the K, dog. It's all about the K. Y'all got that different color. Y'all got that powder blue. That powder blue. We got that
you got that friendly blue. Hey, Coach Bam, I'm gonna jump in and throw my questions at you, and then let these guys take it over from here. We're talking early and stuff, and it was funny because I got a son that played at Howard Payne where you played, and then ended up eventually playing for the San Diego Chargers. But you know, kind of give me that story you gave me about how long you was at Howard Payne.
Hold on, Paul.
Well,
my son played at Howard Payne too.
Wow. Hey, Howard Payne was good to me for 3 months. I left the University of Illinois in the spring of '93. I transferred to Sam Houston State, where they did not release me to play. So I went down to the NAIA level, and that was the best thing that happened to me, man, to go to Howard Payne. I was able to get drafted from Howard Payne. There hadn't been a person to get drafted from Howard Payne in I don't know how long. And I was able to go down there, do my thing, and put Howard Payne on the map.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Blessing. So I was talking to Coach Mathis about the culture that he brought to the DeSoto U. And you basically was there near the infancy of it. I think he got there in 2008. You say you were there in 2011. How do you bring the culture to Kimball? Because just from that clip where you were celebrating, you brought that culture to DeSoto, and it kind of reminded me of the same energy that Mathis brought to DeSoto.
Oh yeah. I mean, first of all, let me give a shout out to him for giving me he gave me my first opportunity when I got back from California to coach. So I'm gonna give him a shout out for that. But man, it was that's just been in me since the Redskins. That's the type of stuff we did growing up, and it's just in me. And that's what I'm gonna take to the K. You know what I'm saying? You gotta get the kids injured. Yeah. Oh yeah. Larry Oliver. Yeah,
yes, sir.
Larry Oliver started that program, man, and it's still going on today. And
yes, sir.
It's 30 plus years, man. I mean, I started there when I was 6 years old. And I'm 50 years old now, and it's still going on.
A legend.
Yes.
All right,
yes,
so I got something to share with you right quick. Bam. So
wow.
So I was listening to my boy Kiva Rush last night and What Your Heart Be Like, and he brought up something that I had no idea was the case. Now he told me that Clay Mack, he's in my phone. I talk to Clay all the time, and he's done well with his business training athletes. He was your quarterback?
Clay Mack was a quarterback.
What number did he work? Because I was looking, I'm like, none of these jokers like Clay Mack. I know that's you in the middle.
No, that's at the University of Illinois.
Oh, that's at Illinois. Oh, bro, I'm thinking I'm looking at some Kimball stuff.
No, that's University of Illinois. But Clay Mack wore number 11. Our junior year, Clay Mack and I, we led the area and the state as a tandem, in receiving. And then our senior year, they moved him to quarterback. Clay Mack played pretty much anything and everything.
Wow. Yeah, I never known that. And I talked to Clay about a bunch of stuff over the years and never even knew that he went to the K for one.
Yeah, he didn't like that quarterback spot. He didn't like it at all. And see, the crazy thing is, when I met Clay, he played for the West Dallas Warriors. That's how I met him. Both of us played quarterback. So it used to be, you go to quarterback. No, you go to quarterback. But they put Clay Mack at the quarterback spot, and we had some success, man.
Man, that's amazing. So let me ask you about your time at Red Oak before you ran off to TCU for a second. I actually stay in that community, so I'm familiar with it. I've had both of my sons have played a little time in Red Oak. They both played at DeSoto, and they both played at Duncanville. So we kind of moved around a little bit, but I know the culture of all three, and the culture definitely was different before you came there. How do you feel? What you brought to the table to change the culture, because everybody wants to play for you.
I think it's just making the programs attractive, man. Red Oak was called Dead Oak at one point. Definitely. You know what I'm saying? But we made Red Oak. Yeah, they was dead. We made Red Oak attractive with coaches like Chris Ross, Courtney Sterling. Courtney Sterling was at DeSoto also. He came over. I mean, we had a great staff, man, with Coach Ross, and we just made the program attractive, man, and won a lot of ball games.
All right, good deal. This Coach Johnson, I know him personally, and
yes,
he's a lifer over there or whatever. But I mean, even with the guys that are lifers, y'all changed the program for them.
Yes, we did, and we had a great time at Red Oak, and it just it came to an end too quick. Let's just say that.
I say that as well, because I try to go to games every year or whatever, but I can't really go right now until they do something else. But all right,
exactly.
All right, we're gonna switch it around. Let's go to Mr. Rod real quick and get your questions in. Get that Carter stuff out the way.
This gonna be lovely.
Mr. DeSoto, Carter Cowboy.
Hey,
you can't do both of them now.
Hey,
you gotta go ride with the Cowboys, man.
Hey, Coach Harris, I'm a DeSoto parent, but a Carter alum. But my question for you, Coach,
so sorry.
So my question for you is this: you went to Campbell, am I correct?
Yes, sir.
So you played in the Oakland Super Bowl. How does it feel knowing on September the 3rd you about to coach in your first Oakland Super Bowl? How does that get you excited?
Yes, man. I'm very excited, man. Coach Jones, I went through the era when we played, the Friday Night Lights group. You know what I'm saying? So I had to play Jesse Armstead, Chris Calhoun, and all those guys, Clifford Abraham. So, this time we're going to be on the winning side of that thing. So I'm excited. It's going down. And I'm telling you now, we're going to win that game.
Guaranteed.
Let's go. Hey, Bam, tell them about your stats in one of the games. I heard this last night. It just blew me away.
My senior year, I had 5 catches, 220 yards, 3 touchdowns.
Golly, you lit them
Was that on
Clay
Cliff?
Mack as the quarterback. Was that on who?
Was that on Clifton or Gary?
Was that on who?
On Clifton Abraham
or Gary?
Was that on who?
Clifton or Gary?
I heard you. Y'all know who played on the back over there?
hey, Bam just ran through the whole Carter that night. He had 5 catches, 220 yards, 3 touchdowns, and 2 cheerleaders by the end of the night.
Hey, y'all just need to go. Bruce Chambers was the cornerback coach. Y'all need to go ask him who was guarding me that night.
Ooh. Now, hey, you talking deep now, because I run with that 88 crew now.
Hey,
that was my crew.
That 88 crew, I gave them 5 for 110, 1 touchdown. That's Lee Shea.
Yeah,
Hey,
that's what
Coach.
he say. My brother.
Hey, Coach. We lost a lot. We lost a lot from last year, but we're gonna get y'all all we can handle this year.
We wait, man. It's gonna be a great game, man. It's gonna be a great game.